All right, ladies and gentlemen, how are you guys doing today on this Tuesday, July 6th, 2021? Thank you for joining me here tonight for another metallic episode of Music of Destruction. Bringing you the very best in metal-related content right here on YouTube on one of the only metal channels you guys will ever need. I am back after a massive heat wave, getting back into doing reviews. I will be back on my regular schedule. I'm a bit late with this one, just because of work and stuff like that, but I am here doing it tonight. If you missed anything in the past week, click the eye in the upper right corner of the screen, get caught up on all the latest videos. I would really appreciate it. Please subscribe and remember to turn on that bell so you don't miss anything. If you'd like me to review anything, make suggestions in the comment section below. I don't like slam deathcore, metalcore, or modern tech death. Please and thank you. We're looking at one of the hardest working channels on the fucking platform, and no one's going to give it to you quite like I do here at Music of Destruction. Welcome to Album Review Tuesdays here on the channel, and tonight I'm doing another subscriber request. This one comes courtesy from my friend Josh, who asked me if I would review Unrelenting Force Indoctrinate. So that's what I'm talking about here tonight. But before we get into the review, I'm going to give you guys some background origin on the band, and we'll talk about this album and my thoughts on it. And since this bio is almost non-existent, there isn't very much background info available, unfortunately. But what I could find is that Unrelenting Force is a thrash crossover band from New York City, formed back in 2014 and have released one album simply called Indoctrinate independently in 2017 on CD and digitally. Now, other than that, I cannot find any information on the band's origin, how long they've been playing together, if there have been any lineup changes, or anything else. So let's just move on to the lineup. Joe Addabbo on bass, Roach McPoach on drums, cool name there, Vince Scotti on guitars, Walter Cardenas on guitars, and Andreas Fortes handling the vocals. Now let's get into the review. So the album opens up with the title track, Indoctrinate, and right away they waste absolutely no time here, breaking into their frantic, fast, blasting, aggressive thrash metal with some extremely fast riffing, great bass work, double bass drumming, and powerful blast beats that give this track a powerful violence and engaging rhythm section that immediately makes you feel the power and aggression, as well as the emotions that are emitting from this fucking song. There's some really amazing lead sections that do a nice build up into a fast-paced, sizzling guitar solo before it breaks back into the main rhythm section again. And there's great writing happening here as well. I really am impressed with the songwriting, and it's a very killer opening track. Now, one thing I'm also going to note here is this raw 80s style production that harkens back to the old school of bands like Kreator, Sodom, and Exodus, and that's what I would definitely cite as some of their main influences here, of course, along with bands like Suicidal Tendencies, Stormtroopers of Death, and of course, Dirty Rotten Imbeciles. Killer opener. Next up is Pathos, and there's some great fast thrashing going on in this, as well as some great melodies and groove going on here that has an intense hardcore edge to it, especially in the vocals as well. He also reminds me of the dude from Meshuggah, and the crossover elements are very apparent in this album and track, as this one feels like it's a cross between Exodus and Dirty Rotten Imbeciles in a lot of ways, but this is by no means a bad thing at all, and it's actually a very refreshing take on the new wave of thrash metal, with that crossover hardcore coming in, being utilized and worked with perfection. Lyrics here are very powerful and profound on the track as well, and this is a great song that combines those crossover thrash metal elements very well. Next up is Elixir of Pain, and we get more frantic blasting and sonic chaos, but again with a deep hardcore edge, as this crossover thrash metal epic reaches faster speeds and tempos with great frantic fast blasting that make you bang your head with aggression and frantic anger and power. It also offers up the best of both worlds once again, and I love this hardcore crossover, the hardcore crossover ingredients that they offer up on this album, this track especially, with some really innovative riffing here, and of course that hardcore edge style vocals and guitar work that make this song hit you in all the right ways. This is another amazing track. Next up we have Shroud, and this one is straight into a double bass neck breaking skull smashing thrash metal epic. Great riffing that made my jaw drop, to be honest, epic drum work, and an insane build up to a brutal attack on all of your senses. Double bass and sonic bass work under these electric thrash riffs pummeling alongside these hardcore style vocals once again. This is a straight up fast aggressive thrash metal attack with some great groove thrown in here as well. Blast beats make their appearance at just the right timing, and the drumming is impeccable. Writing is very tight as well. Not so much crossover on this one, but it's a brutal thrash metal attack. Great song here as well. Next up is Noose, and this one brings back those crossover elements, mixing it with the sonic thrash metal attack once again on all of your senses with a strong, powerful message about a man who is breaking down and wanting to die, as the title of the track suggests. There's some amazing thrash happening on this track as well, and some sick fucking groove being thrown in here. Another unique track with that hardcore crossover thrash that freaks are gonna love, and there's a lot of that old school NY hardcore influence all over this record, and it's like the bastard love child of Exodus and DRI, and it works very well, and it blows my mind at how well crafted this record really is. So guys, let's check out some Noose right here on Music of Destruction from Unrelenting Force. Enjoy.
Sit alone in the dark, thinking, what could have been? Is this the end of the line? On the end of a rope, bitter taste on my tongue. My hatred had reached its point. No care in a world that has gone very wrong for me. Freedom from this pain, I choose the other side. Guarantee no reprisal. A cold grave awaits. No other choice. Don't mourn the loss. Let me hang until my life is close. I don't love you, only love the dead. This is the path that I chose. No guilt or regret. The voice inside my head commands to die. There is nothing to save me now. There's nothing to stop me now. Freedom from this pain. No more empty shell. Forgive me for a while. You will never forget me.
And we're back, and there's also a sick fucking guitar solo on this one before it wraps up, and it's a great climax to the whole thing. This is another great track. Next up, we have Not Deceased, and this one is a straight-up hardcore crossover crawl of a song that really reminds me of those old-school NYHC bands from the 80s. Of course, not a bad thing at all here, and in this case, because Unrelenting Force certainly aren't afraid to go into their roots, because they are from New York, obviously, all while combining sonic, epic, aggressive, electric thrash metal aggression that's going to send people flying in the fucking mosh pits. And I would love to see these guys live, as it would be one hell of a good time. Pure hardcore here with some awesome thrash metal thrown in make for an amazing track. Next up, we have Defiled, and we're treated to some amazing sections of this one with pure NYHC and thrash metal blasting, and that epic lead riffs come back in once again with some technical prowess, but not too fucking technical, thankfully. This one ends up being one of the heaviest on the album, and there's a lot of crushing riffs all over this one that will make your neck break, I swear to God. Double bass work comes in at just the right moments with some sick blast beats as well before it breaks back into that urban street New York hardcore vibe that makes crossover so fucking great. This is such a great hardcore crossover thrash album. It really is. You'll hear it. Well, you did hear it. Next up, we have Burnt Destiny, which is more of that amazing hardcore crossover thrash that I talked about, making you bang your head with some amazing rhythm sections, double bass, compelling riffs and bass work with a powerful message and vocal delivery once again. But there's also a clean midsection that has a little bit of a beautiful clean bridge and serene passage before it breaks back into the aggression and heaviness once again. Emotionally, this one is all about fighting on and persisting no matter what happens in your life. Great hardcore-esque song structuring, but with that thrash metal heaviness, gigantic riffing, and electricity and blast beats and double bass that make this an amazing song. Next up is In Hindsight, and this is an amazing display of more thrash groove with some slower mid-pace tempos and changes with that hardcore crossover brilliance from previous tracks, incredible chunky riffs and powerful lyrics once again, great memorable hooks happening here that power all the way through this amazing presentation and songwriting that has some great melody and lead riffing that breaks into some great technical sections and powerful epic riffs. Another brilliant song. Closing out the album is the track This Mortal Coil, which rounds out the album so nicely. And I'm instantly reminded of Ride the Lightning from Metallica from this one, along with bands like SOD and DRI, as I mentioned. And that's certainly not a bad thing once again, as it does make its appearance here. Double bass work on this track is incredible, and this album will be for people who love that hardcore crossover thrash, and I certainly am one of those people. And this album is a breath of fresh air in that new wave of thrash crossover scene. And I sincerely hope that more bands, and I know there's a lot of great crossover coming out, continue to make more stuff. I really am interested to see where this band goes from here. They haven't put anything else out. I would love to see this band put out some more music. The final verdict for Unrelenting Force Indoctrinate is going to get an 8 out of 10. Alright, so there you have it, another album review in the books here on Music of Destruction. I hope you enjoyed the premiere. If you're new, subscribe, turn on the bell so you don't miss anything. Twitter and Instagram at Music of Destruction. Teespring store, teespring.com/music-of-destruction. Go and get all your merch, please, and thank you. Support the channel that way. There's some great deals there. I don't set the prices, Teespring does, so if it's too expensive for you, not much I can do. If you want to support through Patreon, The Seed episode 33, The History of Thrash Metal Part 3, is finally up on Patreon. I finally got that finished. That is a long episode. Some of my best work on the podcast is on there. It's $5 a month, patreon.com/Music of Destruction gets you access. Your support keeps this channel going, helps us with our brand new YouTube channel with myself and Colton James, Beyond the Big Screen movie and game reviews. We're working on the shit. We got the base built this weekend. We're going to be putting up some more. We're going to be documenting that for you guys. Let's check out a clip for what you can expect on Beyond the Big Screen movie and game review.
Wait a minute, this movement seems to have life. Organic life.
Faster! Faster!
And we're back. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe, like, comment, share the video. Have an awesome night. We'll see you for Album Ranking Wednesdays. Cheers. Have an awesome night. See you guys in the next video.